Welcome back. One of the very first CSS trick that I learned was how to center an entire page inside the browser. Back in the day, many websites weren't centered. So when I discovered that we could center an entire page using just a few lines of CSS, I thought of it was a very useful and cool trick. And that's exactly what we are going to learn in this video. Let's first look at our web page. As we resize the browser window, notices that all our content stretches from one side to another side. So right now, there's actually nothing specific that we can center. If we want to center the entire page, we first need to put all of our content inside one container element. Think about it in this way. If we want to center something, we first need to have a specific element that we can center. So let's create a container around our entire page. So for this, we don't need any special semantic HTML element. The container does not have any specific meaning. So we can simply use a div element. So I'm keeping the element here. So this should not close here. So I'm just copying this and pasting before the body. So when we save the file, Prettier automatically fix the indentation for us. This is one of the really nice things about using Prettier. Now we need a way to select the container from the CSS. So let's give it a class called container. Just copying this. So before the main header, I'm just using this. Now we have a container, but there is still one important thing missing. We need to give this container a specific width. Why? Because right now the container would simply stretch across the entire browse window. And if it takes up the entire width, there is nothing to center. So let's give it a width. Giving a width of 700 pixels. Okay. So the container is 700 pixels wide. The header cannot simply extend beyond the container. For example, as I extend the page, as you can see, it is not extending as like before. And the same applies to other elements inside this. They all now contained within the 700 pixels wide area. This isn't because of the inheritance, it's simply because of how the layout works. And you can also inspect here. As you can see, the total is 700. And you can see the container too. It is 700. A child element that's using the available width of its parents is constrained by the parents' dimensions. But notice when the container it's still sitting on the left side of the browser. So we have to fix the width container, but we haven't centered it yet. And now we are ready for the actual trick. To center the container, we need to add automatic margins on the left and right. So we could write margin left to auto and margin right to auto. So if I save this, and just like that, our entire page is centered. Pretty cool, right? Both the sides are same. If we keep margin left and right auto, it means the both margins have to be equal and the browser automatically defines it. So if we extend this, you can see the difference here changes, right? So I'm going to normal. And we can use a shorthand for this also by simply giving margin 0 and auto. So it will be also the same. Now, as long as the browser width enough, the entire page remains nicely centered. If the browser becomes narrower than the container, however, we obviously won't be able to see the entire 800 pixels wide container. That's because the container itself has a fixed width. We'll deal with this kind of problems later when we start building truly responsive layouts. For now, the important thing is understanding the centering trick. And with that, we are finished with the part of CSS box model, and I'll see you in the next lecture.